And now we will share a time of embracing meditation where we lift up joys and sorrows, the names and occasions that are on our hearts this morning. In a moment, I'm going to sound the singing bowl. And after I do, I invite you to speak aloud into this space or type into the chat with words overlapping words and joys or sorrows and names and occasions that you would like lifted up into this community in this embracing meditation. All that has been shared and all that is too tender to yet share, and which we hold in the silent sanctuary of our hearts, we offer these into the embrace of this beloved community.
I'm going to get you a hymnal too. It's 396.
I know it.
Oh, you know it. Okay. So now, if you'll stand, if you're willing and able, we're going to be singing I Know This Rose Will Open. This is another round. We're going to do it the same way we did the first round. We'll sing it through one time together, and then we'll split the congregation approximately in half. And I'll start off the first half, and then Rose will pick up the second half of the round. We'll do the round 3 times.
Soul will unfurl its
Hello again, dear ones. As mentioned earlier, my name is Rose Reidel, and my pronouns are she, her. I am a heavyset white woman with shoulder-length, curly red hair that may or may not have come out of a bottle. I'm here today to talk to you about a couple of words so often used in Unitarian Universalist spaces. Spiritual growth. UU organizations use terms like nurture spiritual growth, encourage spiritual growth, support spiritual growth, and the like. But on occasion, I've found myself wondering, just what exactly does that mean? What does spirituality mean? And how does it grow? Those words can feel loaded to many folks who feel out of place or uncomfortable with theism or the mystical. So I'd like to take you on a little trip with me and take a look at how I came to Unitarian Universalism and the ways I've been able to define for myself and explore what it is to be spiritual. So I'll start with a little background about myself. I grew up in unstable households with various caregivers. In my early formative years, depending on who I was living with at the time, I either had no exposure to religion at all, or I was exposed to a certain religion of the walking around knocking on doors variety. As I began to near my teens and I was a burgeoning queer youth, I leaned away from the one strict Christian claiming denomination I was exposed to and leaned into the nothing. What I understood of religion made no sense to me whatsoever, and I found peace and joy in the sciences. Scientific explanations of the origins of the universe felt logical and felt separate or incompatible with religion or spirituality. By 14, I was an out and proud and loud atheist. At this point in my life, I identify as a non-theist witch. When I was in my 20s, I had my children. I raised them with no religion and a healthy love of the magic of the sciences. So it should come as little shock to anyone that I was really frightened when my youngest, who was 8 at the time, came home from a sleepover at a relative's house with an intense interest in that relative's very conservative, very right-wing church. So it's not an overstatement to say that I went into a panic. I decided that the best thing to do would be to find a safe church where I could let her explore religion without having to worry about her being indoctrinated. So, with Google being my best friend and all, I hit the internet, and in the search bar, I literally typed, "Church for Atheists, San Diego." My local UU church was the first search result. Yeah. So I looked the website over, and it seemed safe enough. So the following Sunday, I packed the kids into my car, and off we went. And I figured we'd go for a couple weeks, my little one would get it out of her system, and I would never have to set foot in a church again. And I mean, I was right. It only took a few weeks for her to be over it. But I was hooked. See, I had unintentionally found something that I hadn't known I was missing. I had heard ministers from the pulpit mirroring myself back to me. I had met other non-theists, agnostics, Christians, Jews, Hindu, Muslims, and more, pagans, all the things, all identifying as Unitarian Universalists. And I saw principles and values that matched my own. And I felt something that I did not know I was longing for: community. So I stayed. I got actively involved, and for a long time, I just ignored the words that felt uncomfortable to me. Spirit of life, soul, that which is larger than all, prayer, and yes, spiritual growth. I ignored them because I felt that they had no place in my belief system or in my worldview. And I ignored them because I so badly wanted to be a part of this UU community. And hey, nothing's perfect, right? But then I started feeling a call to ministry. And I knew that this was the direction my life was taking me. And I said to myself, Rose, you've got to figure this out. Like, how can you be a minister when even the word spirit gets caught in your throat? And it set me on a path of figuring out just what exactly spiritual means, at least to me. In today's modern culture, the word spirituality is often seen as synonymous with or directly related to religion or to the supernatural, which can make spirituality feel unattainable to non-theists, and it just was not going to work for me. So, defining spirituality begs the question, what is a or the spirit? So one definition of spirit is consciousness, or as Descartes says, a thing that thinks. That is to say, that doubts, affirms, denies, imagines, and perceives. The spirit is the power to think. So without the brain, this power would be nothing. And without this power, the brain would just be an organ. So as an atheist seeking spiritual identity, I have wondered, does spirituality require a divine being? Are atheism and spirituality mutually exclusive? And I don't think so. It is true that theism involves spirituality. However, not all spiritualities involve theism. I have come to understand through my years of being a Unitarian Universalist and through seminary education that spirituality has existed for humankind without religion or theism for time immemorial. Spirituality is a deeply personal and diverse aspect of the human experience. It exists beyond belief in any one thing and is universally experienced by most, if not all, human beings. Spirituality can be defined as the feeling of being more than just oneself, or in UU language, the interconnected web of life. Freud describes this feeling of spirituality as the oceanic feeling, as if being a single drop or a wave in the ocean, at once a part of and separate from the larger ocean itself. So there's no inherent religiosity to this feeling. It belongs to no religion or philosophy, and it can be described in religious terms by a theist, but it is something that anyone can experience, and it's just as valid of a spiritual experience to an atheist. Now, spirituality is also the human drive for meaning and purpose making. So if you've ever met a 2-year-old, you know that the most basic, primal, and recurring question that springs forth from our formation as human beings is why? Our why is how we make meaning of the world around us, and eventually how we make meaning of ourselves. The why am I here? What is my purpose? Finding and learning through the lens of Unitarian Universalism has taught me that it's okay to explore that which makes meaning for others and for myself, to stretch beyond my edges, even the sharp and uncomfortable ones. I have come to understand that, at least for me, spiritual growth means leaning into wonder and stretching oneself to expand one's own understanding of the meaning and purpose of the self and the meaning and the purpose of all that is greater than the self. And that definition, that understanding, isn't uncomfortable or scary to me at all. The meaning that I have come to, that which is meaningful to me, is knowing that all that is, all that ever was, and all that ever will be is here, now. Every particle that is me has always been since the birth of the universe, and always will be. And every particle that is you has been and will be too. Your atoms and my atoms have danced together on the thread of time since the birth of our universe. I'm a part of you, and you are a part of me, and we are all a part of everything else. We are connected to each other all the way down to the atomic level. And this connection drives my life's purpose. And I think that's beautiful. Blessed be.
Okay, so will you now stand as you're willing and able? We're going to sing our closing hymn, Blue Boat Home. It's number 1064 in the teal hymnal. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still I thrive and heart can sing. I've been sailing all
As we prepare to depart today, I will share these words written by Kent McCusick. In the name of all that is holy, may the connections between us inspire and sustain us. May the flame of life within us and among us be a sacred reminder that we are called to serve, to grow, and to love as we continue this journey of transformation. Go in peace, friends.